Okay, now let's talk about a topic that stirs up a lot of emotions: women who decide not to have kids. Yes, you heard me right. They decided not to have kids by choice. So let's unpack their own opinions. Don't come for me yet. It's their choice. Some of them are married, some of them are still single, but they just decided that no, 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 I'm not ready for the whole mommy thing. I'm not ready for the whole mommy drama. So just listen to their own opinions and their reason.
So yeah, I'm 53, completely single by choice, and also no children by choice. Love my life, have incredible friends, and travel is the secret to my happiness. I do not wait around for some man to show up to travel with me or to explore places with me. I do it on my own and have so much fun, and usually take friends with me, meet friends wherever I go. It's the secret to my personal happiness. So if you're out there whining and complaining that you can't find a guy and your life is not worth living, then you better knock it off and rethink the way you're living your life, because you got one shot, babies. So have fun and enjoy it while you can, single or not.
I'm child free, and my favorite quote is, fuck them kids. I'm child free, so that means I'm only responsible for me. I'm child free, and I can eat girl dinner any day of the week. I'm child free, and when someone asks me, do I have kids? I say, hell no. I'm child free, and I'm gonna quit that job because I don't have no mouths to feed. I'm child free. I don't think I'm selfish for putting my mental health first in this economy. I'm child free. I'm always down to go to brunch any day of the week. I'm child free, and when a circumstance come up, I'll be like, at least I don't got no kids. Thank you, God. I'm child free. I stay away from them baby daddies because they're contaminated in my eyes. I'm child free. Just because I don't want no kids don't mean I hate them. I'm child free. Yes, I will meet you in Miami by noon.
I am 34 years old and I have been married for 9 years, and my husband and I decided not to have kids because one of our core values is freedom. Let me explain. When my husband and I started dating, we both fell in love with how independent we were and how dedicated we were to our careers and our ambition and our purpose and our devotion to our own individual happiness. So early on, I was, 24 when we were dating. We decided that we were not interested in having kids. But I also knew that I am very young and I may change my mind. So I never made any definitive decision. I just said, yes, not having children sounds really, really nice, but I can't promise you that at 24. As time went on, we saw a lot of our friends having kids and my siblings having kids, and it reinforced the decision of not having kids for us because we saw just how much it changes your lifestyle. And my husband and I have an amazing life. Like, we do whatever we want. We've even lived in our own apartments in New York City while being happily married. And we've moved across the country from New York to LA. We bought a house in Seattle that we are now renting out to move back to LA because of work. And we are both able to be untethered and move based on our careers, based on what we want in life. Not to say that you can't do those things while having kids, but kids are expensive. And I don't know if we would be able to be homeowners in our 30s if we had kids. And I don't know if we would be able to travel as much as we do if we had kids. And we were both raised in the generation with immigrant parents who had to work so incredibly hard to just afford the bare minimum of the life that we both got to live. And we both felt neglected. I think that a child deserves to come into this world with parents who are fully excited and devoted to the child and putting the child's wants and needs first. The child deserves that. And until we are ready to do that for another human being, we choose to be child.
Why is it that whenever a woman says she does not want kids, people call her selfish? You that have kids, give me one non-selfish reason why you have kids. People say they have kids so that they will have somebody to take care of them when they are older. Selfish reason. So that they can experience unconditional love. Very selfish and rubbish reason. Go and see a therapy. Jesus said, go into the world and multiply. He's talking about spreading the gospel and multiplying as Christians, not spreading your legs. Someone to carry on their name and legacy. You've not even achieved anything in life. You've not made your mark on earth, yet you want somebody to carry on your name. What name? What legacy? Legacy of poverty. Go and sit down. And don't get me wrong, being selfish is not entirely bad. But my thing is, you sit down here and call that woman selfish for not wanting kids, when all the while you've been the selfish one. Like, make it make sense. And the fact that some people have kids just because, and they don't have the tools and emotional maturity to take care of that child, and they end up traumatizing the child. Remember, just because you have a womb doesn't mean you should use it.
Look, I get it. I know it's difficult to wrap your head around this. I know you're thinking that who will take care of you when you get old? Don't you feel that you're missing out on this motherhood thing? But to be honest, it's not everybody that wants to go through the midnight um trauma of not having to have your sleep. Not every woman that wants to go through changing diapers, breastfeeding a baby, trying to nurture a human being. Not every woman is cut out for this. Some women just want to focus on their career. Some women just want to enjoy their lives. They don't just want to be responsible for another child. And it's their choice. So we shouldn't go hard on them. Life is all about choices, and they are ready to live with the choices. So probably when they are old, they might be they might be taken to the old people's home if they live in the Western world, or they might have other relatives, or probably later in life they might decide to adopt children to take care of them. So it's basically not so deep. And don't take it personal when you hear people say that they are not interested in having kids, or they do not want to have kids, or when you see a woman or a couple who has not have had children, it might basically be their decision, and it's okay, it's fine with them. Also, let's not forget the world is already overpopulated. They might be actually doing us a favor.
You know what's even more socially unacceptable today than being a woman who doesn't want kids? The reason you don't want kids. I and so many women I know have spent years trying to justify why we don't want kids, saying, oh yeah, no, I love kids. And then give your reason as if you have to justify it. And truly, one of my reasons for not wanting kids is the one you're never allowed to say, which is, I don't really like kids. Sure, there's a couple of kids I like. My nephew's really badass. I have some friends with some truly awesome kids. But in general, I don't like kids. But when you're a woman who says you don't like kids, oh man, do you need to be prepared for the wrath that you are going to get, because you are supposed to like kids. You are supposed to want children. You're supposed to love all children. And yet if you're a man that doesn't like kids, doesn't like being around kids, doesn't have anything to say to kids, no one thinks twice about it.
Someone just told me to hurry up and have kids before it's too late. Too late for what? I'm 45 years old. I don't understand why people are still bothering me about having kids. I mean, menopause is right around the corner. Like, why do I have to have a kid now? I made the decision to go child-free in my mid to late 20s. It served me really well. I'm going to be honest. I wanted to be selfish. I wanted to do whatever I wanted all of the time. Don't get me wrong. I love kids. I love their energy. After the age of 5, toddlers seem like a lot of work. They're always screaming and they're always crying and puking, and I just couldn't. And how do you guys afford kids? I mean, really? Kids these days, an 8-year-old wants a PS5. I went to the mall and some little kid had a better designer bag than me. I see a lot of moms struggling too, and frankly, I don't know what's worse. Struggling with trying to bring up upstanding citizens, them struggling with the constant exhaustion, them struggling with the expense. It's not for me. It absolutely is not for me. I never really wanted to be a mom. I don't think I have a biological clock. If you make the decision to be child-free, stick to it. Don't let anybody sway you, because they will try until you are lying in your coffin to make you have kids.
Yes, I know some of you are already brewing with opinions, but let me say this and say it really, really frank. The fact that some women decide not to have kids does not mean that they are less of a woman, does not mean they are wicked, does not mean they are selfish, or does not mean they hate children. It's just life is filled with choices. They just made their choices, so we need to respect their choices. Also note that every woman has a purpose in life. So probably their purpose might not be to have children. Children might not be in their plan in life. So we shouldn't throw stones at them. Everybody has the right to decide or to choose whatsoever he or she wants to do with their lives, and their decision is solely theirs.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house. Only 2 of them are mine. But it's another Christmas that is about to come and go where my relationship status is the same. And it's crazy because if you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be single at 38, I would have been like, absolutely not. And if I am, then just me now. You know? Here's one of my kitties. Look at this little baby girl. This is Willow. Say hi, Willow. And I have such a complicated relationship with this time of year. I really do. Because I have a complicated relationship with being single. There's a part of me that really values my life and my time to myself and my independence. And then there's a part of me that feels really embarrassed about admitting that I want to be in a relationship. And I think a big part of that is it makes me feel like maybe I'm being needy or I'm being clingy and all these like, I don't know what it is, but it's almost embarrassing. It is, I feel embarrassed to be 38 and single and never married. I also think a part of me feels forgotten by God or the universe because I feel like I've done so much internal work on myself, and yet I feel like I can't seem to attract my person into my life. And even saying all of this out loud feels really cringy, which is why I'm making myself say it out loud and admit it. Because I'm sure that there's other people that feel the same way. But it makes me, I have a really hard time not wondering what is wrong with me. And I have to stop myself from going down that spiral because it can get very dark when I start to think of the reality is at my age, I may never have children at this point, and that makes me really sad. And there is a reality in which I don't ever find somebody, and that makes me really sad. And so the tension this year for me is allowing myself to have those wants, but then also allowing myself to embrace that maybe I am enough for myself. So I guess I'm just sharing this for other people out there who may be single and having the same thoughts and feelings this holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. You're not alone.
Now, I would love to hear your opinion on this topic about women who do not want to have children. Is this something you want to consider, or is it no for you? You're going to have children. Please drop your opinion on the comment section, and please be respectful. It's their choices. We are having a conversation and we are not having a fight. Let's normalize having different life choices, because what works for one woman might not work for another woman, and that's what makes life beautiful. So I would love you to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed, or click the notification button to get notified each time I drop content like this. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep the conversation going.